The nominations for the 71st Annual Golden Globes were announced this morning. The nominees for Best Picture in a Drama included 12 Years a Slave, Captain Phillips, Gravity, Philomena, and Rush. For Best Picture in a Musical or Comedy, we have American Hustle, Her, Inside Llewyn Davis, Nebraska, and The Wolf of Wall Street. For Best Actor in a Drama, we have Chiwetel Ejiofor for 12 Years a Slave, Idris Elba for Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, Tom Hanks in Captain Phillips, Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club, and Robert Redford for All Is Lost. For Best Actress in a Drama, Cate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, Sandra Bullock, Gravity, Judi Dench, Philomena, Emma Thompson, Saving Mr. Banks, Kate Winslet, Labor Day. For Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy, Christian Bale, American Hustle, Bruce Dern, Nebraska, Leonardo DiCaprio, The Wolf of Wall Street, Oscar Isaac, Inside Llewyn Davis, and Joaquin Phoenix, Her. For Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy, Amy Adams, American Hustle, Julie Delpy, Before Midnight, Greta Gerwig, Frances Ha, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Enough Said, and Meryl Streep for August, Osage County. Best Supporting Actor, Barkhad Abdi in Captain Phillips, Daniel Bruhl, Rush, Bradley Cooper, American Hustle, Michael Fassbender, 12 Years a Slave, and Jared Leto, Dallas Buyers Club. For Best Supporting Actress, Sally Hawkins, Blue Jasmine, Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle, Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave, Julia Roberts for August, Osage County, and June Squibb in Nebraska. Guys, what categories stand out to you, and who are your picks for the winners?
Just to make sure we're above board here, and I don't want to come across as being disingenuous, as I tweeted this morning, the Golden Globes are the award season version of Kim Kardashian. Famous for being famous without any real legitimacy behind them. The Golden Globes are basically a joke, but they're a fun show, and this brings up a great opportunity for discussing this type of stuff, so we'll discuss it. For me, the Best Picture drama, for me, it's still 12 Years a Slave. I was emotionally ripped apart by it. I was completely transported in the era. The performances were all magnificent. Some really good films on here. Big fan of Captain Phillips, a number of the movies. But for me, it's 12 Years a Slave. Personally, what do you guys think?
I saw all these movies except for Philomena. I was curious, I didn't understand why Rush is on here. I saw Rush, I liked it. I don't know why it's on the Best Picture category. I mean, I guess maybe because it's the foreign press and they love car racing and it's a subject.
And Daniel Bruhl.
Yeah, Daniel Bruhl, and it's something they really like. But it was a good movie. I just never thought it was Best Picture quality. And also you have the absence of a movie like Mud, which I thought was one of the best movies of the year, but I guess it maybe doesn't translate to the international audience. They probably just don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely, out of this list, 12 Years a Slave, I mean, what Steve McQueen does to me emotionally is just, it's just so powerful. I was literally paralyzed after. The performances, the shots, the sequence, everything about it was a work of art. It's not a film I'd like to see again because it just
one of those
stole
movies.
my heart. But for everything, all elements put together, I mean, I just think he's such a brilliant filmmaker saying something. You know, Gravity for the effects, and for Alfonso and his DP and his whole team, sound and light, and I mean, it is a stunning cinematic achievement, but I think it lacked a little bit in the story department for me. So taking all things into consideration, I would go 12 Years out of the ones here as well. I kind of agree with Rush. I thought it was a good film. But I thought the performances were better than the film itself. I thought it was cool, you know, the narration that Ron Howard did and everything, and I love those kind of movies. But I think Daniel Bruhl really deserves to be nominated, but as Best Picture, I was kind of surprised.
I was surprised.
Well. Yeah.
I had forgotten I had seen the movie.
Yeah, and I've heard great things about Philomena, but I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
This is a good, actually, point to bring up something that Dennis was referring to. You're talking about the international audience, which really does highlight what is different about the Golden Globes from something like the Oscars. Yeah. And it actually kind of goes to why I think the Golden Globes are a bit of a joke. But, you know, whereas you have the Academy Awards, the Oscars, or the Broadcast Film Critics Society, but let's stick with the Oscars for now. 6,000 to 7,000 voting members, all of which are actors, writers, production designers, studio people, movie journalists, who are in one form or another artistically or professionally involved in the film industry, 6,000 of them voting on the Academy Awards. The Golden Globes, I may have the specific number wrong, but the last time I checked, the Golden Globes is voted on by 72 people who are movie journalists who live in Hollywood but work for foreign publications. Let me say that again. They are film journalists and film critics who live in Hollywood but work for foreign publications. That's what the Golden Globes are. And that's why it's so relevant, actually, when you brought up, and I'm glad you brought it up, that maybe Mud didn't appeal to the international audience, because really that's what the Golden Globes is. It's really more the international perspective, looking at it from 72 film journalists who just so happen to live in Hollywood.
And sometimes they just want certain actors or actresses present
at their party.
Let's discuss Angelina Jolie for Salt. Was that really a performance?
Angelina Jolie for
Johnny Depp for
and Johnny Depp for
The Tourist.
The
Yeah, that's what I
Tourist.
meant.
I mean, when it was like one of the most critically slammed films of the year,
Yeah.
but we want Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp at our party, so we do that. But anyway, it's still a fun
And
thing
I
to
agree on
discuss.
Mud. That's one of my favorite films of the year.
So, but let's go on to we're going to try to run down through these quickly. Let's talk about for Best Picture, Musical or Comedy, one of the biggest jokes in all of awards season, because some of the things that they have called musicals or comedies over the year make no sense. But we got American Hustle, which certainly had some funny moments.
It's funny.
It's funny moments.
Yeah.
It's not a comedy.
It's not a comedy, but it's funny.
But Her, Inside Llewyn Davis, Nebraska, Wolf of Wall Street. For me, Wolf of Wall Street takes this one with a very close for me would be Her, but Wolf of Wall Street for me. What about you guys?
I haven't actually seen all these except for Wolf of Wall Street, because most of these haven't come out yet, you
Right.
know, either only in limited or just press screenings. And I was only fortunate enough to see The Wolf of Wall Street, which, even though it sounds odd that it's in the comedy category, if you see it, you'll know why.
It's funny.
Like,
It's a funny film.
Yeah, the screening I saw it at, like, people were just laughing the whole time. I mean, there is a darker side to it that comes later in the movie, but the first 2/3, people are just like, you know. So I understand why it's there, and I guess I'd have to choose that just because I haven't seen the other ones.
I haven't seen Her. That's like on my most anticipated film. I just heard it's fantastic. I haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street either. I feel like I've done a really good job at seeing most of the films this year, but there's a couple that I still haven't. So out of that list, I mean, it's hard to speak to it. American Hustle, it's not a comedy, but I was laughing a lot of the film. I mean, that's what, you know, David O. Russell does. His characters are so memorable and relatable, but also really far-fetched, and they're just really comedic. So I don't know. That's a hard category for me to have a shoe in, and I do think it's funny. First of all, none of these are musicals.
Well, Inside Llewyn Davis.
Is a musical?
No, but it has
Frozen's a musical.
It has a couple of songs in it.
Yeah,
so I
so it's a
know
film
they
with
really
music.
stretch.
Yeah,
They
that's a
really
stretch.
All right, let's run through these. For Best Actor in a Drama, for whatever reason, the Golden Globes differentiate Best Actor Drama and Best Actor Musical or Comedy, but they do not differentiate for Best Supporting Actor. They just have Best Supporting Actor for either and Best Supporting
so
Actress.
bizarre.
Weird, but anyway, for Best Actor in a Drama, Chiwetel Ejiofor for Idris Elba for Mandela: Long Walk to Freedom, Tom Hanks, Captain Phillips, Matthew McConaughey, Robert Redford. To me, it's close, but it's Chiwetel Ejiofor. I have said for 5 years, most underrated, underappreciated actor in Hollywood. This is going to finally put him up on that pedestal. He will have his Academy Award moment this year, so my pick would be
That's
Chiwetel.
what you're predicting?
For Oscars,
He's
yeah.
gonna win?
Yeah, I think he's going to win
Shoe-in?
for the Oscar. I'm not going to say shoe-in,
Yeah.
but that would be definitely
I think
my pick.
this is the most difficult race for Oscars. Yes, we're talking Gold Globes right now, but I think best performance for both male in the supporting and leading categories
yeah, they're
is the
both-
most, like, it has been such a powerful year for cinema, and those are the performances. I think it's much easier to predict for the female categories because I didn't see as many that I was blown away by, but like this list, Chiwetel, wow. The kind of emotional depth he brought to that broke my heart. Tom Hanks, if you've seen Captain Phillips, that last 10 minutes, the sense of humanity he brings to that role, he's
crazy.
better than anyone around. And Matthew McConaughey, the transformation he did, all of these. Robert Redford, that's actually the only film on this list that I haven't seen yet. Idris Elba, he's one of my personal favorites. So I think this list is really, really strong. But for everything that he brought, all the emotional depth and just literally stealing my heart in my chest, I would also go Chiwetel.
I haven't seen All Is Lost either with Robert Redford, so I can't judge his performance there. There is someone missing from this list, that I wish
There's
was on here?
several missing.
Okay, there's one that stands out the most to me. Well, I mean, you could have Matthew McConaughey on here again for Mud as well, but they just chose
They're not
Dallas
gonna do
Buyers.
that.
Yeah. Michael B. Jordan for
Yes.
Fruitvale Station.
What is wrong with that?
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Actually, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, how is he not on this list? I mean, I guess because it's
Blasphemy.
strong, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's not like there are 4 or 5, or there are 3 or 4 really weak people on here
No.
that you'd be outraged. Why?
Yeah.
But I'll admit, when I read the list, I just assumed Michael B.
Shocked.
Jordan was going to be on
That's
here.
a snub.
I don't know that I call it a snub because
I do.
who obviously does not belong on this list?
I can't judge Robert Redford.
Right. So
'cause I haven't
but
seen
take
it.
that out of it. So take the Robert. Does Tom Hanks obviously not belong on
always
this list?
deserves on that list.
Does Idris Elba obviously not
amazing.
belong? Does Chiwetel
No one.
Ejiofor?
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey. Does he obviously? So
No.
I can't call it a snub unless you can point out 2, maybe 3 obvious people who are on the list that have
Yeah.
no place being
It's just
there.
disappointing.
I'm still surprised though. I'm
I
still
don't
really
think it's a
surprised.
snub, but I do think it falls.
He should have been on that list.
I think it falls under like what I was talking about with Mud. You have Fruitvale Station, which is very pertinent to what's going on in America right now, and so I think it's something that the foreign press maybe just doesn't identify with.
It could be another one of the issues there.
I also think the reason why Robert Redford is on that list is because he was the single and only cast member in that entire movie. So to be the single only cast member and be able to carry an entire film says something.
It's like his Castaway.
Yeah.
I mean, I said that before about Ryan Reynolds, for Buried.
I agree.
Like he deserved an Academy Award nomination for that. But anyway, we gotta hurry up here. We will go now for where are we? Best Actress for a Drama. Kate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, Sandra Bullock for Gravity, Judi Dench, Philomena, Emma Thompson Saving Mr. Banks, Kate Winslet for Labor Day. Full disclosure, I have not seen Labor Day yet, so I'm gonna have to take that Kate Winslet's name out. For me, it's Emma Thompson, I should say. I know a lot of people are gonna go with Kate Blanchett, and that's absolutely not the wrong answer.
Yeah.
But for me, if I had the vote, it would be Emma Thompson for Saving Mr. Banks. Dennis?
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of these movies, so I would just have to go with Sandra Bullock, Gravity.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Blue Jasmine, though I've heard from everyone like, oh, she's the shoe-in, so.
If there is ever a shoe-in my prediction, it's Kate Blanchett. She's Meryl Streep. Like, they are the epitome of what it is to have this raw talent, see not an inch of the actress in there. She's completely that role. This is one of Woody Allen's best films in a long time, in my opinion, and it's her movie. And she's such a tragically beautiful character, and she's just incredible. I was blown away by her performance. So to me, while there are some other great performers on this, and I have seen most of this list, I would, no question, go Kate Blanchett.
All right, we're going to the Best Actor now, musical or comedy. Christian Bale for American Hustle, Bruce Dern for Nebraska, Leonardo DiCaprio, Wolf of Wall Street, Oscar Isaac for Inside Llewyn Davis, and Joaquin Phoenix for Her. I'm actually going to surprise some people and say Christian Bale, American Hustle.
She was so good.
So good. I don't think it was as good of a performance as he gave in The Fighter, but it's spectacular. It's a really, really great performance. And you know, here's the funny thing too. I don't know that I'd put anybody on this list in the Oscar category for Best Actor. I think it's all. I think it's all the list. Who would you knock off of the drama list to put in Bale?
Well, because I haven't seen Robert Redford's film, I say him.
I know, it's hard to say because we haven't seen it yet. Right? But so for me, it's Christian Bale. Amy Rose?
I haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street yet, but I'm still appalled that Leonardo DiCaprio has not won a Best Oscar for me. So I want it to be him because he's so talented and multidimensional. But Christian Bale, you know, it's one thing to have a great performance. It's another thing to make a character memorable, and I think that's what he did with Irving. That is one of the best characters that has been written in a long time, and it's a true character, and I would definitely go with him, but I haven't seen Her yet either. But again, this list is really strong, really great performances.
Yeah, wait till you see Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street.
I can't wait.
He is a memorable character.
He's always memorable.
Yes, he is. I actually thought he kind of got a little snubbed for last year for Django Unchained. I thought he was great.
He was
amazing.
great.
And no nomination. I feel like a lot of times they don't like him, you know? Like even
But the funny thing about Django was, I thought there were two other guys in Django who deserved a Best Supporting Actor nomination more than Leonardo DiCaprio does. I thought Samuel Jackson deserved
Oh,
Best
he was
Supporting,
amazing.
and obviously Christoph Waltz,
yeah.
who eventually won the Academy
Yeah.
Award. So it's hard to put like 2 or 3 people from the same
Yeah.
movie
Yeah,
in the
it is.
same category. But I
think
see what you're saying.
that's what happened with Jeremy Renner and Bradley Cooper, too.
Yes, yeah, that too. All
I
right,
go for Oscar Isaac. No one's going for Inside Llewyn Davis, and I think Oscar Isaac's performance in that movie, beyond his singing, the hurt in his eyes, everything, totally Oscar.
So where are we? We are now
Best
into Best
Actress.
Actress, musical or comedy. We got Amy Adams, American Hustle, Julie Delpy for Before Midnight, Greta Gerwig for Frances Ha, Julia Louis-Dreyfus for Enough Said, Meryl Streep, August, Osage County. My really pleasant surprise that is on here is Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I didn't think anybody saw or remembered Enough Said. She's really, really good in that. But I wouldn't give her the win. I would give the win to Julie Delpy for Before Midnight, would be me personally. Dennis.
Yeah, Julie Delpy is great, and it's Before Midnight is like, what was that? The third movie in this?
I think it's the third in this.
It's such a
in the
strange
series.
Yeah, it's strange. You know, I would like to see her win as well.
Yeah, it seems to be a unanimous decision as much as these other performances. Wow, we're not going for Meryl Streep for the first time in her entire life. But yeah, great. I did not see Enough Said. I know that was James Gandolfini's last film, and I heard they had amazing chemistry in it. So I do really want to see that. But Frances Ha, I really enjoyed, and Amy Adams. You know, she proves again that she can't be put in a box. She was amazing in American Hustle. I thought she brought a lot to that. But the role itself, I like Julie Delpy's character. I thought she really exposed a lot. So.
Best Supporting Actor. Now, once again, this is all-encompassing, not just drama or musical comedy. Best Supporting Actor. Yeah, I know. Barkhad Abdi for Captain Phillips, Daniel Bruhl for Rush, Bradley Cooper for American Hustle, Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave, Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club. As far as I'm concerned, this is a 2-horse race. This is Michael Fassbender or Jared Leto. And I would personally give it to Michael Fassbender, but the sexy choice right now that I think people are going to be leaning towards is Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club. When we come to the Academy Awards, could be a different story.
Yeah.
People love these Barkhad Abdi stories. This unknown guy from out of nowhere.
His first acting job,
and
too.
he killed it.
He did.
He killed it. But I've heard criticism though, saying he's just like, there wasn't really a performance. He just went on there and read the lines, and that's who and what he is.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of, particularly people in the acting community, may shy away from him. But I do believe it's a 2-horse race. Me, it'd be Fassbender. Dennis?
I think Jared Leto is going to win just because it's one of those much buzzed about performances, and it's
Look at that picture.
It's a transformation, and Hollywood loves the transformation.
They do.
Right.
You know, Charlize Theron's Monster and a bunch of other movies. What's interesting is what Daniel Bruhl on this list, Best Supporting Actor. He's like the main character in Rush.
I was going to say this is kind of like when they put Christian Bale in for Best Supporting Actor for Fighter,
Exactly.
which was a fallacy because he was not the supporting
He has
actor.
a better
he was
shot.
a co-lead in that film, but anyway.
He has a better shot in the category. So
Yeah, so they put him there.
I actually think this is probably the strongest. I mean, all the Best Actor too, but all of these performances were so incredible. Bradley Cooper, honestly, I think this is one of his best
It's one of his
performances.
best performances.
I liked it even more than Silver Linings. I thought he did great in Silver Linings, but I saw him acting it sometimes. But this one, some of his most powerful moments were in his silent moments, and I loved it. So out of this list, I would just go shoe in Jared Leto. His transformation, you nailed it. They love when they transform. They love when beautiful people de-beautify themselves. And I just thought, you could not tell. For a second, I was like, whoa, that's Jared Leto? And he was completely committed to that role. But yeah, I do love this whole list. I thought Daniel Bruhl was fantastic. All of them. Michael Fassbender, he can be a real jerk. So yeah, good performances all around.
You know, it's a funny thing about Jared is that I was at a Dallas Buyers Club lunch the other week, and so we were having, it was Matthew McConaughey was there, and Mrs. Ben Affleck was there, who will be mine one day.
Your future ex-wife?
My future ex-wife. And Jared Leto was, and I'm used to being in these types of events where, McConaughey shows up and it's like all the girls go a little bit crazy. And they did. It's like, oh my gosh, it's Matthew McConaughey. But when Jared walked in the room, it's like all the oxygen got sucked out. and all the women who were in the room kind of lost themselves a little bit. There was a different vibe. Anyway.
He's a rock star now,
and
too,
he's a
though,
rock
so.
star, and a good rock star, actually. Anyway, the last category here, Best Supporting Actress, Sally Hawkins, Blue Jasmine, Jennifer Lawrence, American Hustle. It doesn't. I don't need to go any further. Sally Hawkins is going to win this, I believe.
Really?
I believe Sally Hawkins is going to win this. What do you guys think?
I didn't see Blue Jasmine, so I can't comment. I think Lupita, how do you pronounce her name? Nyong'o?
From 12 Years.
She was amazing.
Yeah,
She
once
had a
again,
fantastic
kind of
role.
like the Captain Phillips thing. It's a great story.
It is a great story and a powerful film with a message. Jennifer Lawrence, I loved her in this movie. I thought she was hilarious, perfect timing, really held her own to most of the actors that are like 10 to 15 years older than her. With, I just thought she was dynamic. I couldn't take my eyes off her, and her timing was just spectacular. I thought this was a very smart move for her career. But Sally Hawkins was great. Everything about Blue Jasmine, I mean, that's a character movie. So.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.